Now, CBS 13 News is on your side at 6.
A nasty nor'easter bearing down on Maine.
The winds are howling. Their waves are going insane.
Snowfall rates close to 3 inches an hour.
Vehicles stuck. Wicked weather battering the state.
It's a good time to stay inside as some of the heaviest bands of snow are moving in.
From the coast.
It's a mess out here on the mid-coast as the wind continues to blow and pile up all of this snow.
To the heart of Maine.
Weather Authority 1 is on the road and ready to roll.
CBS 13 News at 6 starts right now.
And right now, more than a foot of snow is on the ground in some spots, and the snow continues to pile up as a nor'easter powers its way past the coast of Maine.
That's good. So with a live look in Lewiston right now, and it's been pretty much like this all day long, near whiteout conditions at times. Streets mostly deserted as a lot of people make the smart decision to just stay indoors. Our crews are spread out throughout the state with team coverage from some of the hardest hit areas.
We'll get to all of that in just a moment, but first we're going right to Charlie LaPresti, who is tracking the storm.
Well, that's right, Kim. I think we have about 2 more hours left of the serious accumulating snow, and after that, we'll start to move out. We'll see the clearing skies, and it's going to be cold tonight and windy as well. Let's take a look at what we have on the Doppler HD. There's the back edge making its way across portions of New Hampshire. We can stop it, and there it is. That will slowly work its way off to the east in the coming hours. I want to draw your attention to some of these bands of snow. Look at that dark shade of blue that is making its way up through the Gulf of Maine and now into down east Maine. We came really close to getting this into southern and central Maine. There were a few spots like Sebago Lake, Lewis and Auburn area got into the heavy band earlier, and there was another very heavy band into southern York County that has made its way shifting to the east. Regardless, though, we still have moderate snowfall with visibility down to a quarter mile for most communities. I just checked out the observations, and a lot of towns are reporting, I should say, half-mile visibility. We had quarter-mile visibility earlier this afternoon. So Storm Tracker takes us through the late afternoon and evening. This is about 7 o'clock. There's the back edge trying to make its way through. Skies will clear out pretty quickly. Most towns fall within the 8 to 14 inch range. A few spots over southern York County will be a little bit more. You head farther north and west, those snowfall totals drop off. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to look at, well, this storm system, of course, how much snow fell. We're getting reports from a lot of our weather watchers. When to expect more snow and the potential for an even more powerful storm. That's in the forecast coming up in a few minutes. Greg and Kim, back to you.
This storm is making for treacherous conditions along the coast. CBS 13's Dan Lamparello knows that personally. And Dan, it is forcing officials to halt ferry service between the mainland and a lot of those island communities.
That's exactly right, Greg. They halted that early this afternoon after the ocean and the waves and the wind and all the snow. Every one of those factors caused them to cancel that service earlier this afternoon. But you can see the wind is whipping right in my face here. There has to be gusts at least 30 miles an hour out here. We're at the Coast Guard station in Rockland, and we're right out here in the thick of it on the harbor. And you can see behind me, it's very low visibility out here. And the wind, I can't tell really what's falling regular snow and what's just coming and blowing with these drifts. And you'll come over here a little bit and you can see some of these drifts out here. Some of them are as high as a foot, but then right next to them you can see the pavement. So really it's hard to tell out here how much accumulation there really is in Rockland, but all we know is that the Coast Guard says that this nor'easter is really pounding this area, and it's really treacherous out there on the waters today. Now, as you said, ferry service as well as bus service was canceled up here in Rockland. Definitely hard for people to get out and about, but they're happy that people stayed safe and stayed out of that water today. You could see even some of the boats that were tied up on moorings were rocking back and forth with these heavy winds and the high seas. They said they expected seas to be up to at least 18 feet in some areas. And the U.S. Coast Guard out here today says really these nor'easters are packing a punch on this coastline.
We're looking at sea conditions upwards of 8 to 10 feet. Winds in excess of 30 knots. And obviously the other big concern with the snow coming down is visibility. The reduced visibility makes it extremely difficult to navigate.
And right in front of me, my photographer is right in front of me, and I'm actually having a hard time seeing him because of how much snow is really whipping out here right now. The car says it's about 15 degrees up here in Rockland. It feels like it's in the negatives right now. It's very cold, very windy, and it doesn't feel like this is going to be letting up anytime soon. But for now, we're live here in Rockland tonight. Dan Lamparello, CBS 13 News. Back to you.
CBS 13's Weather Authority 1. Sponsored by O'Connor Chevrolet.
Our mobile weather lab is on the road right now, getting the most accurate and up-to-date forecast possible. Meteorologist Adam Epstein joins us now live from the Lakes region. How's the driving going, Adam?
Good evening, Kim. We're doing all right now, and once again, I'm not driving. It's our chief photographer, Mike Hartford, who's behind the wheel, and he's doing a great job of navigating these roads. Let's show you the roads. This is what we're going through right now. We're on Route 202 in Gray, heading east, and the snow is still covering the roadways. Seeing a lot of white, very few cars on the roads, which is good news. But very dangerous, slick travel conditions outside. Not a great time to be out on the roads. Here we lit it up a little bit more so you could see what we're dealing with. Still a lot of snow that is falling down, but the snow is coming to a close. Let's get you on over to our radar. And this is where we are, this dot right here, right by North Windham towards Gray. And notice the snow is ending to the west. Not much going on. It's out towards the ocean and into the Atlantic where there are very, very heavy snow bands. Fortunately, some of that is making its way onto the coast by Rockland and Camden. That's mid-coast Maine, down east Maine. But in central and southern Maine, it looks like we're going to be seeing our last flakes in a few hours, an hour or two from now. So this is a look right back at the street where we're driving on Route 202. Once again, I'd recommend staying inside if you can and waiting an hour or two. If you need to go outside, you'll have that opportunity later on tonight and by tomorrow where the roads have a chance to be plowed, to be treated, so it's much safer to be outside. So please take it easy if you have to go out. I recommend staying indoors if you can. Reporting live in our new Weather Authority 1 weather truck, I'm meteorologist Adam Epstein, CBS 13 News, back to the studio in Portland.
One of the hardest hit areas right now is Berwick, where more than a foot of snow is being reported. And that's where we find CBS 13's Dan McCarthy standing by live. Dan?
Good evening, Kim. And yes, the heartbeat of Berwick right now is in a Cumberland Farms parking lot. Take a look behind me. You can see just the gigantic pile of snow that's been building. A plow truck just pulled up to continue doing work here. And part of the reason why it's been so easy for plows to clear out this parking lot is right in this vehicle here. Let's take a look as we're joined by a plow driver right now as a part of our endeavor here. But take a look here. You can just wipe it right off the back of the car. It's sliding off and making it very easy for plows to clear out this area. However, as I mentioned, this has really been the only area here in Berwick that's been completely plowed. The snow pile up to my eyes, and I'm 6'4", but they're continuing that work for plows. They're continuing the work for snow blowers. And looking at the roads, Route 9 has been pretty snowy, but drivers have been doing a little bit of fishtailing. However, they've been staying safe. No crashes that we've seen in the time that we've been here. We've been here for about an hour now. We'll continue to keep track. As you mentioned, snowfall over a foot now here in Berwick, and we'll keep those totals posted here and online. We're live in Berwick this evening. Dan McCarthy, CBS 13 News.
Conditions did deteriorate rapidly today once the storm really got going, slowing travel on the roads and grounding a lot of flights as well. CBS 13's Marissa Bodner is joining us now live from the Portland Jetport. And Marissa, not a lot of planes taking off or landing right now.
No, Greg, most everything has been canceled going in and out of the Jetport, but you can see the crowd behind me. There's actually a plane that just got in from Detroit. Many say they feel lucky to have arrived at all. There are two that are scheduled to go out in the next few minutes. Whether or not they make it, we'll have to wait and see, but it has been a day of travel headaches, not just here. Very similar story over at the Portland Transportation Center. Now, the good news was the Amtrak Downeaster was really operating normal and on time. However, it is bad news for buses. Almost all trips on Concord coach lines have been canceled since 9:30 this morning. The company says that's really out of concern for people's safety. One bus did get out, headed towards Augusta and Bangor at noon. Another to New York was delayed about 3 hours, and two are on their way up from Boston right now, but that's it. Nothing else in or out the rest of tonight. One driver for Concord Coach Line says it took an extra 40 minutes to make the trip from Boston this morning. But passengers we talked to say this is just part of winter here in Maine.
The snow is blowing and the snow coming from other vehicles. That was the toughest challenge, visibility.
Yeah, it changed my plans. Bring it on. I love winter. The more snow, the better.
A couple of flights for tomorrow have already been canceled. As always, whether it is on a plane, train, or bus, you want to check the status before heading out the door. For now, live at the Portland Jetport, Marissa Bodner, CBS 13 News. Back to you guys.
And Marissa, I think that's about the first time we've seen anybody behind you there. It's been pretty much a ghost town up until now. All right, live from the Jetport. Thanks, Marissa.
York County buried in more than a foot of snow. Next, we'll look at conditions here and when things might start to let up.
It was a snow day for kids here in Lewiston and thousands of others across the state. Coming up, we talked to the Lewiston superintendent, and he explains why calling a snow day is one of the hardest parts of his job.
And coming up, we'll look at some of those snowfall totals, how much more snow to expect when it moves out, and when to expect another storm. That's in my forecast as well in about 10 minutes.
You're watching CBS 13 News at 6.
Take it to the coast now. Areas like Camp Ellis and Saco have been getting hammered by the strong gusts of wind all day. CBS 13's Brad Rogers joins us live now from coastal York County. And how are things looking right there right now, Brad?
Well, I'll tell you what, you can see the snow just blowing right in my face. It has showed no signs of letting up since before 8 o'clock this morning when it all started. Really, a lot of communities in York County have gotten more than a foot of snow, buried really in all of this snow you see around me here. The good news is, though, that the snow is really kind of powdery and very dry and not wet at all, so it's not accumulating on any of the power lines, which is why we've seen no power outages whatsoever by Central Maine Power. As for behind me here, well, I'm going to step out of the way here. This is Route 1 in Wells. In the summertime, about 5 months from now, this road will be packed with cars. Right now, though, the only people out here are pretty much plow truck drivers. It is something else out here. The winds continuing to kind of pick up. Right now, they're blowing it around 20 miles an hour, maybe gusting to 30 miles an hour at the moment. When is all this going to stop? Well, we think probably around 8 o'clock tonight it's going to move out of York County. But, of course, the mid-coast and down east, they're still going to be dealing with this well into the night. We're live in Wells. Brad Rogers, CBS 13 News. Back to you.
Yeah, you're right. We almost never see coastal Route 1 empty like that, Brad.
Plenty of school districts opted for a snow day today. Kids in Lewiston had their second day off this week. And as CBS 13's Jennifer Long reports, making that decision can be a tough job for superintendents.
Yeah, Kim, it really can. I spoke to the Lewiston superintendent today, and he tells me, today actually wasn't that hard of a call, but deciding whether or not to have a snow day is one of the tougher parts of his job. As you can see, the roads here, they're still really not very clear at 6 o'clock this evening, so he feels very confident in the call he made today. Now, this is Lewiston's 5th snow day this year, and he tells me, there's always somebody who's going to be upset with the decision you made. On Tuesday, he canceled school because the roads were slippery in the morning. It ended up clearing up in the afternoon, and some parents were upset that he ended up canceling school. On Wednesday, they had a delay because of icy roads, and other parents were upset that he didn't cancel school. Again, today, he feels very confident in his decision, but he expects some more challenging calls ahead this winter.
I'm not sure what conditions are going to be tomorrow morning. I've heard that there's a storm coming in Sunday night and then another one Wednesday. I think in my experience the most days I've ever had is 10. In Lewiston, I've been here 6 years. I think the most we've had is 8. We only had 3 last year.
Now, again, Lewiston is at 5 snow days this year, of course, a lot more than last year. And according to Maine law, students have to be in school for 175 days a year. Without any snow days, Lewiston was supposed to get out of school on June 12th. Now they're going to June 19th, and that is if they don't have any more snow days this winter. Live in Lewiston, Jennifer Long, CBS 13 News.
We shall see. I'm sure the kids have one view of that and the superintendent the other. Thanks, Jen.
Well, there certainly is the potential for more snow days in the 7-day forecast. When to expect our next storm, how much snow has already fallen, and how cold it's going to get as well. There's a lot to talk about in tonight's forecast. It's coming up next.
Now, your CBS 13 Weather Authority forecast with Chief Meteorologist Charlie Lopresti.
Welcome back, everyone. The snow continues to fall out there this evening. The back edge will be moving out over the next couple of hours between about 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. in there. That's when most areas will see their last flakes moving through. Then it clears out and just cold into the day tomorrow. Let's jump into the forecast, and we'll start out with our satellite radar composite. Notice some of those dark shades of blue, especially late morning and early afternoon. Some of those produced snowfall rates of 2 to 3 inches per hour. It's really incredible to see earlier. Now the heaviest band is situated right out into the ocean and making its way right up into down east Maine. We have light to moderate snowfall for all of southern and central Maine at this point. There's the back edge trying to make its way through New Hampshire. It will be doing that into western parts of Maine in the coming hours as well. You can see that back edge making its way over towards the Lake Winnipesaukee region. Also into the Portland area, we're up to 3/4 mile visibility now, so it's more of a lighter snow working back into the picture. Lewis and Auburn and Augusta still looking at some moderate snowfall. Heaviest band is this one just offshore. Some of the snow is working right up into the east side of Penobscot Bay. Even the Rockland, Belfast, Camden area is still seeing some pretty intense bands of snow. This heaviest band will continue its trek off to the east in the coming hours. Weather watchers checking in with snowfall totals, and some of these are about 2 hours old at this point. It's probably another few inches on the ground here, but southern York County, there were some heavy rounds of snow earlier today down here. A lot of communities around a foot. Had a report in Saco of a foot, a second report of 8 inches in Saco, Old Orchard Beach near 10 inches, Portland 7 inches. This is a few hours old as well. That now brings Portland 3.5 inches above normal in snowfall for the season so far. So how about that after a wimpy January in snow? Dayton about a half foot of snow, and Gray at the Weather Service about a half foot. Madison has about 8 inches. Sebago Lake region, there are a lot of areas around 10 inches, especially on the west side here. About a half a foot from Harrison to Bridgeton to Freiburg. Same towards Poland. Lewis and Auburn near 10 or 11 inches of snow. Same in Monmouth. Fayette coming in with about a half foot near Leeds. Leeds around 7 inches. Augusta close to 9 here. These are probably a little bit old here. I think we're up near 7 inches in some spots down towards Damascotta, Westport Island, and Bath. And the reason I say that, the radar has been blossoming in that region over the last several hours. So I think a lot of areas get that 8 to 14 with about 4 to 8 inches farther off to the north here. Those areas that got those intense bands earlier down towards Berwick perhaps, Wells region, probably about 12 to 18 will do it there. Down east Maine, we'll keep that 12 to 18 as well. All right, the back edge is moving through over the next 2 or 3 hours. There it is, making some headway from west to east. Skies will clear out. And the big story overnight will be the cold temps. You probably, if you've looked at the thermometer, you know it's cold out there. Air temperatures are running around low teens with wind chills heading sub-zero. We're going to start near zero tomorrow morning. That's about 7 a.m. We'll enjoy some sun. There will be a round of clouds around midday. That moves out by evening, and that will be replaced by some more clouds and light snow on Saturday. Now, I don't think this is a big storm, but we will see probably 1 to 3 inches of snow on Saturday. That's about 7 o'clock in the morning, more snow during the early afternoon. We'll get a break Saturday night. Sunday morning, I think we'll get a break before more light snow moves in late in the day on Sunday. That's actually 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. Now, the time frame to really keep an eye on will be Sunday night and into Monday as a storm system really tries to get going south of Cape Cod and moving into the Gulf of Maine. Now, if this scenario were to verify, we would see another major storm, probably stronger than the one we have right now. And when I say stronger, it would bring stronger winds and probably more intense snowfall. So the ingredients are there for a sizable storm, but we're just not going to go there just yet as far as putting this down as a definite. Something to really keep an eye on for Sunday night and Monday, though. So the time frame for that, again, Sunday night and into Monday. Saturday, more light snow during the afternoon Sunday. Heavy snow possible Monday. Tuesday, we'll enjoy some sun. And then as we go into Wednesday, I think it's a snow-rain situation at the coastline, and more heavy snow is possible on Thursday. I have not seen a 7-day forecast like this in quite some time, where there has been this many storms to talk about. It's a very active pattern. It's something we will need to monitor in the coming days. And the cold air will be with us over the next 2 days. That will be the big story. And then we'll try to ramp it up again and really start to focus on the next several snowstorms that will be affecting us. The really one to keep an eye on will be that Sunday night, Monday one, though.
Okay, will do. In the meantime, road conditions are still pretty awful. We've got Adam Epstein in our rolling weather lab, Weather Authority 1. Adam?
Kim, we made it all the way to Gray. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll talk about the conditions right here where we are with Weather Authority 1. That's in a couple minutes.
You're watching CBS 13 News at 6. CBS 13's Weather Authority 1, sponsored by O'Connor Chevrolet.
Welcome back. I'm meteorologist Adam Epstein, stopped right here in Gray. While the snow is starting to die down, it's fine little pellets now. The wind has not. It is picking up, and that's allowed for wind chills to fall into the single digits and even 1 or 2 degrees below zero. That's how it feels right here in Gray. The actual temperature, 14 degrees. This is all output from our very own weather station set up right on top of Weather Authority 1, our car right here. Now, it's going to be cold for the rest of the night, not too much chance for melting. Over the past 10 minutes, wind gusts have been around 15 miles per hour. And you can stay updated not just on air, but also online. Go to Facebook, just type in Adam Epstein. You'll see my profile pop up. You can also find Chief Meteorologist Charlie Lopresti on there, giving you the best, latest information we have. It's cold out here. The road's still not in great shape. I recommend staying inside, staying warm, and staying safe if you can. We'll give you more updates as the night goes on, as this storm winds down online and on air. I can't even keep my eyes open. The wind's blowing right in my face. In Gray, I'm meteorologist Adam Epstein. Back inside to you.
All right, thank you, Adam. And next at 6, no ski mountain? No problem.
We're taking a look at one of our favorite viewer videos of the day from this storm.
You're watching CBS 13 News at 6.
A brother and sister in Standish spent their snow day the fun way. This is Connor and Kylie Dixon skiing in their driveway.
Why not? We love to see viewer videos, so keep sending them to us. And who knows, you may end up right here on CBS 13, just like Connor and Kylie did. By the way, some of the easiest ways to find us are right on Twitter, as Adam Epstein was pointing out a moment ago, and of course on our page on Facebook.
We just need a little T-bar or chairlift to
Somebody get back up.
I was thinking that. I bet they're sleeping right now. You know how tired they must be?
That is tiring. Yeah. Hike back
up, ski back down, hike back up.
So worth it, though. What a great way to spend the day.
Yes. Absolutely. Going forward here, we actually have the snow coming to an end in the coming hours. There's the back edge making its way across New Hampshire at this point. That will continue its trek off to the east. We'll have the snow showers or steady snowfall continuing to move out of the picture probably around 8 o'clock or so. So there we are about 8 o'clock with the snow pushing through southern and central Maine. Air temperatures are running in the teens, so it's very, very cold outside with wind chill values heading sub-zero. Overnight lows tonight will be dipping into the single numbers, so I expect tomorrow to look for highs in the teens with a lot of sunshine. Should be a nice looking day tomorrow. It's just going to be cold. Next round of snow, well, that one moves in on Saturday. We're going to see probably about 1 to 3 inches of snow during that time frame. The next real storm to keep an eye on will be Sunday night and into Monday. Tomorrow against bright skies, but temps in the teens, so it stays seasonably cool.
Yeah, bright, but not going to feel like the sun's any warmth from it at that rate.
Yeah. Ineffective sunshine.
No melting.
No, not in this forecast.
All right, stay safe tonight. We are following some breaking news. A federal appeals court has reached a decision on President Donald Trump's travel ban.
Yeah, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has decided to uphold the stay, meaning the travel ban remains on hold. The CBS Evening News will have much more on that coming up in just a few seconds.
And we'll see you a little later tonight on CBS 13 News at 11.